Murray, what is up, my friend? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to the Facebook community as a whole. So I got your video here, and I know I promised to get an answer to you because I had to jump off yesterday's group Q&A call abruptly. So let me take a swing at your scenario here, which was you had three CPAs that engaged prior to tax season, and you are now trying to re-engage those relationships. And you dropped off a couple tax season survival kits, which is a nice move, but you are now finding a struggle with these CPAs because what they're doing is they're looking for specific cases to try to identify to bring to you rather than thinking about who can we proactively reach out to and offer more holistic value. So, a couple thoughts. One is definitely not a unique situation, happens a lot. And the reason is because people default to what they know and what's comfortable. What a CPA has done up to this point is really operated in what we refer to as the old way. And I would encourage you to kind of take some notes on this language. The old way is they have a dozen different relationships, and each relationship they're referring their client to go to that specialist and get that problem fixed. You know, you have a knee pain, you go to a knee doctor. I don't even know if knee doctor's a thing, but you get the idea. Whereas what we're trying to do is the new way, which is let's not wait until your client is complaining about their pain in their knee. Let's not try to look at how our clients are walking and guess whether or not they have knee pain. Let's look at a client and say, is there a way to roll up our sleeves and become more proactive, offer more value to this client? What are some of the indications that, yes, there's a way we can do that? They paid a lot of money in taxes. They're unhappy with the amount of money they paid in taxes. They own a business or multiple businesses. They have a very large income. They have a large net worth with some potential estate planning needs. You know, so these are all indications that it may be worth taking a minute, sending the CIQ, and getting a good look under the hood, right? So what I would encourage you to do is sit down and talk with them and say, listen, you know, I realize we spoke a number of months ago, and at the time you were excited about the team-based model. And really what we were looking to do was bring more comprehensive, more proactive value to your clients. What I see happening here is you're defaulting into the relationships that you've had up to this point, which is, let me find a client that owns commercial real estate and I'll send them to Murray to do cost seg. Or let me find a client that, you know, fits this one specific profile, and then I'll send that client to Murray. But what you want to do is take a step back and let's look at this relationship in the new way, which is we have a team of professionals that can help your clients. Which clients do we want to help? And that's really the point, is who did we just communicate with over the last couple of months that we know we could bring more value to if we were to spend a little bit more time looking underneath that hood? And again, I just gave you a list a couple minutes ago about some of the indications. But a great one is who complained or you know is unhappy about the amount of money they paid in taxes. That's a no-brainer. Let's start with those 1, 2, or 3 clients right there. Okay. So I would say for those of you that were out at the Elite Advisor Academy, I talked about polarizing, you know, the technique of polarizing. It's incredibly effective with human beings. I mean, we have a need to be right and to see things as black or white. You know, you see this in things like politics, right? It's the Republicans versus the Democrats, and we're constantly at odds. So what you want to polarize here is the old way: identify a client that needs cost seg and send them to me as a referral, versus the new way: identify a client. Maybe we don't even know how we're going to help them yet, but we know there's something else that can be done, or we just want to make sure that we're doing everything we can because they were complaining or they were unhappy, right? So that's the old way versus the new way. The new way: work with a team of professionals, holistic, proactive, comprehensive. That's what you want to help them understand, is see the difference between those two, get them excited about helping their clients in the new way, help them understand that you're that liaison that can make that happen. And it doesn't matter what the strategy is. We don't care if they have commercial real estate or they have a business with a lot of expenses or they have a business producing a lot of income. I mean, it doesn't matter what the individual situation is. Point is, it's a client with enough moving pieces that we can bring more value to. I think that's it, man. Made some notes as I was watching your video to make sure I got it all. Yeah, and the last thing I guess I would say is it's just that they completely forgot. Either they forgot the conversation, they forgot some of the nuances, or they remember a little bit, but again, we're human beings and we default to what is comfortable and what we know. So for anybody else that happens to watch this, don't be surprised if you go a little while and then they default to what they were comfortable with or knew. It doesn't mean it's better, doesn't mean they even want to work that way. It's just what's familiar. The last thing I will say, if I said that was the last thing, the last one ago, I take a step back. This is the last thing, which is next year at tax season or at the September 15th deadline or the October 15th deadline, you can't let it go multiple months. Because this is what happens. When you get the relationship and it's truly engaged, you need to be meeting around the calendar, year round. And I would encourage you to meet at least once every other week, even during tax season, if not every week. The relationships in the model that are the most profitable and really producing like a machine, they met every single week through March, through April. They met again right after tax season because it's a machine and they're following a process. So Murray, just keep that in mind. Don't beat yourself up over it, but as you continue to develop these relationships, it will become your expectation that you will continue to meet with them and work with them at least every other week through any of the tax seasons, because you can't let it go where it goes 1 month, 2 months. It's too long. They're going to default to what they're comfortable with, and it's going to take you time to re-educate them, and it's just a waste of everyone's energy. All right, my friend, that is it from me.